yes, I do know that my lighting sucks, but it's the winter in New England. What do you expect? Clear skies? Anyway, I started playing this game right after I uploaded my The Last Tinker review, and it's 2 weeks later. I somehow traveled through time.
I tend to sink a lot of hours in these resource gathering and crafting games, and I don't know why. I never found them particularly entertaining, and I'm not sure if I enjoyed Minecraft, but I did like the whole thing where I find things to craft things to build things. I hated No Man's Sky, and I sunk 10 hours into that pile of shit that I'll never get back, along with $60. And with Stardew Valley, I don't want to even know how much time I drained from my life on this one. All I know is I had to stop playing it so that I'm not missing for so long that I'm declared legally dead. Stardew Valley is made by Eric Barone under the name Concerned Ape. He graduated from the University of Washington Tacoma with a computer science degree. Since he couldn't get a job in that industry, he decided to make a game that appealed to his artistic side. Stardew Valley started off as a fan-made alternative to Harvest Moon, which he had thought had been getting worse since Back to Nature. Since he couldn't find a replacement for the series that he liked, he decided to make his own game that addressed the issues of Harvest Moon. I never played any of the Harvest Moon games. I didn't know of their existence until I was in college, and even then I had no idea what they were. I saw the kid-friendly images on the box cover and figured that they were for kids. And I mean games for kids that watch Nick Jr. type of kids. None of my friends ever brought up the series, so my experience with Harvest Moon is null. Graphically, the game looks like it was made in something like RPG Maker, and it's got that top-down perspective, and the way the sprites move about also feels the same way. The sprites look more advanced than that on the SNES, maybe even bordering on Neo Geo quality. I like how everything looks and the overall art style the game is going for. So what do you do in Stardew Valley? It's a farming simulator. You grow crops, raise livestock, and make money from doing so. There's regular maintenance that goes on, like making sure that the soil is tilled, the plants are watered, and all that kind of stuff that goes into these simulation games. But when you do all that stuff in the morning, that's about it. You still have the entire day. Or you could just return to bed without doing anything more and just be a hermit while you tend to your farm. When you start your farm, there's trees, rocks, grass, and all manner of debris in the way, so you'll need to clear it out. You're given the tools you need to maintain it: an axe, hoe, scythe, watering can, and mining pick. You'll be using these tools to clear the debris, maintain or harvest crops, and that all takes energy. You'll need to keep checking this because if you tire yourself out, you'll wake up in your house missing money or items as someone robbed you but was scared off by a townsperson. I think it was that townsperson that robbed you. You can either dump your harvested crops or garbage in the box outside your house to make money or sell them in town. It doesn't matter which one you use because you'll get paid the same amount, but only certain shopkeepers will accept certain items. And there's also community management. You can go into town, buy stuff, and talk to NPCs. With the community management, the NPCs all have their set schedule that they adhere to. So you see an NPC doing the same thing they would do on a Monday, or on a Tuesday, they'll do it on the next Tuesday. Although that can also depend on weather. Like when it's raining, you'll mostly see the town deserted as everyone is inside. There's a variety of services you can use. The general store sells stuff that you'll need to grow crops with, the blacksmith will sell you ore if you're too lazy to look for it, and will upgrade your tools. There's a library and museum where you can donate stuff that you can find throughout your exploration. You'll build relationships with the characters the more you talk to them and give them gifts that they like. You can even romance some of the single characters. They'll move in with you to your farmhouse and help by giving you buffs by cooking for you or helping by maintaining the farm. All this interacting with the community takes time, and time moves very fast. Each of the 4 seasons lasts 28 days. Time moves in 10-minute intervals, and 10 minutes of in-game time is roughly 7 seconds in real time. You'll need to take this into account to maximize your farming capabilities, as only certain crops can be grown during certain seasons. If you plant a crop too late before it matures, once the season changes, you'll need to clear the garden and start over with a new crop. Some crops can grow through multiple seasons, like corn, which can grow in the summer and fall, and depending how fast you go back to bed will determine how fast the season passes. It took me about 4 hours per season.
There's absolutely no end to this game, and it's pretty much a method of time traveling. You start playing maybe around noon, and maybe play for 1-2 hours and quit to desktop. It's 3 a.m.
There's also the Adventure Club. You'll get a sword and you'll be able to descend into the mines where you'll fight monsters. It's not the most intuitive combat system and seems to be in place so that you can use a sword to fight the monsters as you gather resources for more crafting. Crafting is extremely simple. If you have the items in your inventory, you just open up the menu, drag and drop the item into your inventory, and that's it. The game also tells you what items you'll need. I like this over Minecraft, as in Minecraft you have to arrange the materials in a way that allows the item to be created. And Minecraft doesn't tell you what materials you'll need to craft them, although I hear that's dependent on which version you play. When I played it on PC, it didn't tell me anything. There is something of a leveling system as well, and that will help your energy meter last longer, but you can also make things to replenish your energy meter, and food will refill your health if you're in the mines fighting monsters. There's a lot to do in Stardew Valley. I think I hardly scratched the surface here because I know that I haven't experienced everything in the game. There's events that you need to really pay attention to as well, like community parties that you could take part of, and there's stuff to explore and uncover all the secrets in Stardew Valley. You can fix up the community center by offering stuff you found or grown, and you can get stuff for doing this too. I find it interesting that I can get really absorbed in these kinds of exploration and resource management type of games. They're fun, relaxing games that you can get lost in when they're done well. I'm glad there was a community management and exploration in the game, as just growing the crops and selling them can get boring really fast. I did like making my farm grow larger with different types of crops, and while I didn't get that far into it, I played the game for 8 hours and experienced 2 seasons, the game gets easier when you're able to mass produce crops and bring some form of automation that makes it easier to grow those crops. I've tried getting into games like Animal Crossing or even Farmville, and I really couldn't do it, because they feel like chore simulators more than games. I think that's where Stardew Valley succeeds, because it doesn't feel like a chore, and it probably looks like I did nothing but faff about in the game. But that's because you could do whatever you want. You could even do nothing. Your amount of fun all depends on what you want to do and what you want to accomplish in the game. You can even get mods that change things up in the game to try new things. While I haven't tried any of them, I probably will sometime in the future when I'm able to go back to Stardew Valley.
If you're into games like Minecraft or Animal Crossing, then I really recommend Stardew Valley. There's just so much stuff to do in its open-ended world, and the good thing about it is none of it feels like a chore.